name is Mindy. Welcome back to my channel. I'm 52 years old and I love life. I love to travel. I'm looking for my best career yet still. I love to cook. I love to grow things in my garden. Today I would love to talk about something that's been on my mind for some time. And this is an age-old question of if you could talk to your younger self or tell your 20-year, 30-year younger self some advice, what would you say? And I've come up with a few items. Number one, I would say to get your education as quickly as possible. With some context for this, I went to school right out of high school, as most people do, and got a serious boyfriend when I was in high school, and he followed me up to college. It prevented me from doing what I needed to do. I had to drop out of school a couple of times, had to get full-time jobs because of choices I made. Later in life, I was able to finish my bachelor degree when I was about 40 years old. But I think it came a little bit too late, and I got it in a very general field of study, which is communications. And I wish I would have followed my heart, my dreams. I'm a writer at heart, and I wish I would have got a degree in creative writing when I was younger, so I could have taken full advantage of my career and moved up from there. So that would be my advice, to get your education as quickly as possible. Number two, start saving money as quickly as you can, even if it's like $5 a week or $5 a month. You got to start somewhere. Put it away in a bank, put it in a mutual fund, invest it in a CD or something. Just don't do nothing, because that money will grow faster than it would if you aren't saving and you're spending too much. Maybe you can cut back on some things and not buy things that you think are so important at the time, but to save money. And then when you're retired, you'll have a nice nest egg. It may seem like it's years away and you have plenty of time to do so, but I find myself at 52 years old and wish I would have put away more money, for sure. So that is the second thing. The third thing I want to tell my younger self is, don't get into debt. If you can avoid it, getting into debt for your school or your mortgage, those are important things. But don't get into credit card debt because you have to buy the latest fashions, or you just have to have that Starbucks every day, or maybe you have an apartment that is too expensive. When I was younger, I had the opportunity to get an apartment. I secured one on my own and I subleased it to a few roommates. And it was great. I could easily afford it. I think the apartment back in 1992 was $335 for a basement apartment. And divided 3 ways, it was just over $100 per person, and that included utilities. And that was a great setup. But I had these great ideas and plans, and I always dreamed about having my own place. And so I got my own apartment, and that's when things fell apart. I had to furnish the apartment. I wanted it to look perfect, and I wasn't making a lot of money at the time. This is one of the times that I dropped out of school to work full time, and I quickly found myself with mounting credit card debt, and I carried that as well as with my student loan debt into my marriage, and we were able to pay that off after the sale of like our third house, I think. So I would recommend to just not get into debt for unnecessary things. Do what you can to save, be thrifty, and you will thank yourself later. The next thing I would tell my younger self is to cherish friendships. Some friendships you'll have your whole life, others you will have for a short time. Friendships come and go. The good ones will stick with you. The bad ones that are toxic, you need to let go. Sometimes it's better to not have friends and to be alone. With that, the ones that are good, make sure to not let those friendships go away or lose touch with people, because good friends are hard to find. The next item I would tell my younger self is to wear lots of sunscreen. Back in the 80s and 90s, we loved to lay out in the sun. We loved to go to tanning beds, myself included. And I have skin damage that's very irreversible. I guess there's some things you can do about it, and I wear really good sunscreen now. I have probably for the last 15 years. I wear as high as I can, but some damage you accumulate on your poor skin, you're gonna have your skin your whole life. And I would try to wear hats and keep out of the sun if possible. But live life, go to the beach, have fun, just wear your sunscreen. and your skin will thank you later for it. I'd also tell my younger self to travel when you're young. Save up for a trip and go and have fun and see the world. Do that before you're married. Do that while you can and you're not encumbered with kids. Traveling is amazing. At least it was super important for me, and it still is, to see the world. Have a lot of videos and places I've been and seen. I love nature. I love to see national parks and other countries and cultures and even just states and things around where I live. I love beauty. And I'd rather have experiences than have things. It would have been really fun to travel more, maybe when I was younger. I did have an airline job right out of college, and I really enjoyed it. Did go out of business, and that's why I decided to pursue flight attendant. Dream of mine, later in life, but I didn't know that it would take a toll on my health. And I think when I was younger, if I could have been a flight attendant, I could have handled it better. I wouldn't have had to worry about husband at home or kids at home or grandchildren at home, and it would have been a better fit for me. Follow your dreams. Follow your dreams. Don't be afraid of your dreams, and never give up, because you may not get the dreams that you want. Life happens, and sometimes your life is your dream. You may not realize it, but if you have a dream to pursue a certain career or a certain lifestyle, don't give up on it. Have faith that things will get better, and there's always the future, and to keep trying. I passed my test. I'm gonna be a flight attendant. I can't believe it. I believe myself. I can't believe it. It's finally here. The next thing I tell my younger self would be to not sweat the small stuff. Lots of times when you're younger, I had many discouraging things happen. I had a hard childhood. I grew up very poor. And I remember being in high school and thinking I wasn't going to get through it, and that maybe life wasn't worth living. But luckily, I held on, and I just got through the next day. Don't give up. Things will get better. They always do. You're gonna have life challenging moments your whole life. There's gonna be things that are gonna knock you down. There's gonna be things that happen with your relationships. There are gonna be things that happen financially. There's gonna be deaths of friends and family. But know that you matter. Your life is your life. Your life is a journey, and you need to reach for your goals and never give up, but you also need to enjoy the life and you have, and challenges along the way, because they make you who you are, and you will be stronger for it, and you'll be wise and old someday. I would like to think I'm wiser and stronger than I was when I was 20.
For first place, Mindy LeGrand, the time of 39:19.
But just enjoy life and know that if things are hard when you're younger, things always improve, and then they get hard again, and that's okay, because that's life and that's the journey of your life. Well, I hope you enjoyed this journey. I would love to hear from each of you what you wish you could tell your younger self, what advice you would have, maybe to not be so hard on your younger self, and maybe embrace those things that you wish you could tell your younger self today. It's never too late to improve and grow, and I hope you found some meaning in this video and it's been helpful to some of you, and I would love to hear what your comments are for this. And if you're younger, tell me where you're at and what you're thinking and what you're going through, and I hope you have the most wonderful season.